All right. We'll give it a second. How you feel about the Super Bowl, though?
I mean, we can get to that. We
Okay,
we can
okay.
we can definitely
We
talk
can
about
get to
that.
that. We can get to that. Shout out. We got two guys in that with like Andy Arroyo. Anybody else in
I,
Seattle?
well, it's Andy Arroyo and then our boy Leonard Taylor.
Oh, duh, Leonard Taylor. Duh.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, shout God. Him coming on the team randomly in the middle of the year and then just making that play was like
from the
in the
Jets.
AC Championship,
Brutal.
top tier moment.
I cannot believe the Jets didn't keep him.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Jets did not keep him
All the
around.
defensive tackles that the Jets had this year, Mozzie Smith, everyone that you saw, and they said no,
My
no
God,
Leonard
Nathan
Taylor.
Bobby's- oh, you got him in the
Like
Quinn Williams trade.
Mozzie Smith and John Briggs had a good year, but like brutal players on the team, and you're like Leonard Taylor, at one point a first round pick projected at one point in his career, undrafted free agent, had a great year. Yeah, let's send him to New England. See what happens over there.
Game changer. But with that being said, welcome back to Miami Primetime Live. Shay here with Jaden, brought to you by FanDuel. Jaden, how you feeling?
I'm doing great, Shay. It's probably been the most quiet week we've had as a member of my Primetime Live. There's been pretty much nothing going on since our last show on Monday, other than some formalities between Mensah and was it Jonathan Klein from the ETSU transfer. Has not been a lot going on other than the Senior Bowl stuff, right?
Yeah, really. There's not really much going on. We've kind of hit a little bit of a dead spot in the off season, and unless some things shake up massively. But the big news was, I mean, we were talking about it because Jaden, I believe you saw him on campus earlier that day. Darian Mensah is finally a Miami Hurricane, and he is officially a part of the program. I'm going to pull up the highlights right now because, boy, do the Canes have a baller on their hands right here. I mean, that's like he is. Look at this down the field, ball placement. I mean, we can skip around here, but just like you can just watch the accuracy downfield. Shout out Barkate right there, the guy who came with. I wanted to see if I can find some like the ad living stuff right here. Pressure in his face, off his back foot, not. Um, yeah, really, he attacks all over the field, accurate as hell. I get you wherever, and then a little bit of the ad living stuff that you see right here. Takes the read option outside, off his foot for that rollout throw right there. Just a little mix of everything. And Jaden, what are you most excited that he's going to bring?
I mean, I'm most excited about first of all his connection with Barkate. I'm so excited to watch that connection right there. I mean, they played so well together at Duke. You know, Barkate, him overall at Duke, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns on 72 catches. Unbelievable guy, 15.4 per catch. And then Mensah himself, the way that he's able to move around the pocket, he's a little bit in kind of that in between, I would say, between Carson Beck and Cam Ward for Miami, at least. That, you know, Cam Ward is much more mobile. Carson Beck was much more in the pocket. Darian Mensah is a little bit of both of them where he can go out if he needs to. But I think, his arm talent's there. His precision's there. His accuracy's there. He can throw the hell out of a football. He's, to me, a guy that's, ultimately elevates everything Miami's looking for in their offense. I said this on Thursday's show. When I look at a guy like Darian Mensah, I think of a guy he came in my opinion, as probably the best prospect Miami's going to have at quarterback in the last few years, because Cam Ward came in, all three of them had explored the draft, and Cam Ward was like a projected 6th round pick. Carson Beck projected 6th round pick. Darian Mensah was a round 3 at the worst kind of projection for the guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best guy that you're bringing in, at least towards the beginning of the year. I know Cam Ward ended up being a number 1 overall pick, but the way that they're entering the team, this is the best guy you've had out of the bunch.
Let's just roll this one back again. Like, just take a look at this. Like, this is ridiculous. Rolling to the right, dime down the field. I know the score was not very favorable for Duke at that point right there, but I
Well, I mean,
mean,
that was a catch. They put them right back in the game. They only
yeah.
lost by about, I think, 7 in that game. So
Mhm.
he's got the arm talent. It's very, it's similar the way that he can throw on the run to Cam Ward. I'm not going to compare the two directly,
I
but
think Cam's arm was a little bit livelier, and he
yes,
little, but like still, like you. I think the ad libbing ability is there too. I know the one issue that people pointed out is that he fumbles a decent amount, but I think
Mhm.
that's very fixable. I think it was a similar issue when Cam got here in terms of the fumbles and holding onto the ball, being secure with the ball. But very much, he's not going to run necessarily, but he's gonna scramble to throw down the field, which is just very, very much impressive. And you can just see the ability to make every single throw, and the fact that he's bringing in one of his most trusted guys with Barkate here is what's like it's going to make this Miami offense just so electric.
Being top 5 in yards, top 5 in touchdowns, only having 6 interceptions, top 5 in completion percentage, while having the group that Duke had, which just it's Duke's talent was good. Between Barkate and the running back who had a really good year, great guys, but Miami's got a better overall group. So Barkate having Mensah having an incredible season already, it's pretty great that he's going to have an even better team next year with Miami. It should only elevate his style of play in the game that he's going to play. That to me is like the number one thing I'm looking like. He has everything in the world that he has to be great. And I think the standards are pretty high considering what Carson Beck and Cam Ward both brought to Miami. Cam Ward got us the number one, he's the number one overall pick, 1 game away from the playoffs. Should have been there. Best offense in college football. That's what he brought. Carson Beck led the team to the national championship game. You're kind of expecting Darian Mensah to get Miami over the hump, be that kind of quarterback.
Yeah, I think definitely. Yeah, I don't know if he's necessarily. Well, I mean, we'll see what he looks like with this Miami skill group, just because. I mean, we can talk about a little bit more. We mentioned Barkate, but I just think I don't know if he's necessarily Cam level per se, but still, like even if he's just a tiny step below,
Yes.
just what he's going to have here in terms of now actually having a defense, which should probably carry over to next year, and then also having, just the stacked skill group that Miami's going to have next year. It's going to be a really fun offense. And like at times, like this year, I know it felt like it was just frustrating with how conservative Miami was trying to be, and it worked out once we got into the playoffs, and they can play their game a little bit more. And I think they'll still have that aspect in them in terms of the bully ball aspect, but just having that the explosive part of their game now, where downfield throws I think are much more of an option. I think his arm is I think Beck's arm was a little limited this year just because he was recovering from the shoulder stuff. But I think you're going to see a decent amount more downfield throwing, just because you look at the highlight tape, he was really good at that. And just with the skill guys around, I think Miami's going to be able to attack in a bunch of different ways. I think Shannon Dawson's going to be able to kind of pull some more stuff out of his bag that he kind of couldn't, maybe necessarily wasn't able to this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to open up the playbook a little bit more, more deep shots. I know we had a few, like here and there. I feel like we can get way more deep shots. Again, I kind of see him in that like talent wise of who he is in that kind of middle range between Cam Ward and Carson Beck, and I think that he will be like slightly better than he'll be better than Beck, and then a little bit worse than than Ward. I think that's a perfect player to have with what you're expecting to be an elite defense and a very good offense. This team again, to me, has like a sky's the limit kind of mentality that this team can go all the way. And it's an early start, and all signs are pointing to Mensah being that guy. But the standards are high considering what the rumors are for his NIL evaluation, plus the amount of how well the quarterbacks have looked the last couple of years. The standards are pretty high for Chris Paul and really Mensah himself to kind of do this for Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think just the standards are going to be high just because of what Miami looked like last year. But I'll get into it now that we can bring up Barkate. But because I have the Barkate film pulled up. But when you bring in your guy who had over 1,000, combined with what Miami has already here with Tony, Mark Fletcher coming back, Gerard Pringle coming back, this offensive line still under the coaching that Miami has should be pretty solid next year. Look what Barkate can do. Really works the intermediate of the field really well, lining up outside primarily, which I think is a good contrast with where Tony's going to line up primarily in the slot. Josh Moore, Cam Vaughn, Vandrevius Jacobs. Those guys will probably more opposite to the outside, but this is like your go-to outside X receiver. that you're going to rely a lot on for Mensah. And I think having a guy who's as proven as him, and now I love what Keelan did towards the end of the season, but this is a proven guy who can go and make plays on the outside, lining up one-on-one, beating man coverage, and make plays for his quarterback. Where we had, Keelan was phenomenal as we had playoff time, but we had to kind of grow to see that, and just having a proven guy like Barkate who has an established connection, I think is going to be really beneficial for Miami.
The connection is going to be huge. I love what Barkate's done. I've watched him a lot over the course of this year, and I think everything that he does is just, he plays so well. So he's so smart and so like crafty and everything that he's able to do. He's like, I think he's just a very solid go-to guy that you're going to need a couple, hey, we need a 15-yard catch. He's going to be there. Similar to what you said about him kind of filling in that Keelan Marion role as a sort. I know he'll be lined up on the outside, but the way that he's able to be so reliable and do a lot of different things. Also, he's great in space.
Great after the catch. Yeah, I was about to mention
great in space, great after the catch. And not only at Duke, but before this, he did 3 years at Stanford. He was incredible at Stanford.
Harvard.
Finished his last year with over 1,000 yards.
He
is Harvard, sorry.
Yeah.
He was a legitimate player at Harvard. I think his all FCS second team. He was a legitimate star over there. And he had a great year at Duke. I can only imagine the things they'll do at Miami with Malachi Tony kind of getting, he's going to get 2, maybe even 3 guys looking at him at all times. Cooper Barkate is going to be right there, and he's going to kind of fill in that role where he can just, one-on-one, he can do any, whatever he needs to. He had a great year in the ACC. He's playing a very similar schedule. Everything points to Cooper Barkate and Mensah being that kind of great connection paired with Malachi Tony on the inside. Mm-hmm. It's going to be, I love Barkate so much. I'm so excited to see him for Miami this year.
Yeah, and I think just having an established guy who can go and win on the outside, is just so important for this team, because at least in spurts during the season and during the playoffs, you kind of saw teams kind of hone in on focusing where Tony was. And, while Keelan and CJ, they were good at times to kind of alleviate that pressure, Barkate's a guy that can go in. They're going to have to dedicate their number one corner, or if they follow, they travel, but they're going to have to dedicate, efforts to shutting him down, where you didn't have to at times, even though Miami got really good production out of CJ and Marion, and then occasionally Josh Moore every now and then when he got to play. But now you have a true guy on the outside who can go and win, your one-on-one reps, and it's going to be really good for this Miami offense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to compare him at all to the weight, but it did feel like last year, CJ Daniels, when he went out for injury, it definitely hurt the way that Miami kind of looked, because they didn't have that go-to guy on the outside. Hey, I need a one-on-one deep ball, or just a one-on-one period, and they didn't really get that. Cooper Barkate paired Malachi Tony, both really good in space. I love the way both of them can work together in space, and then you can add a Josh Moore who can be really good as a one-on-one guy.
Yeah, one-on-one jump ball, go up and get it to the guy.
He pairs so well when you have another guy who's so good in space. I mean, it's just a great combination. That chemistry already being established, I think, is going to be the best thing for them. You're going to see it right away week 1 against Stanford. I think you're just going to see him, Barkate and Mensah might just go back and forth at all times. And maybe you see Tony not play, be the entire offense. Maybe it takes some pressure off him and allows him to do what he does best in space, things like that. I think just it opens a lot more up for the offense, so they're not so limited. There were so many times where I said to myself, at least, this offense is just Malachi Tony and a little bit of the run game. That's all the team is. And having Barkate opens it up, having the run game, the whole running back room be back, and having Darian Mensah at quarterback, everything should be opening up for that, that group to be so good. That receiving corps to me is the deepest part of this team at the moment. Mm-hmm. We were saying it last year, there's nothing that I didn't felt that. I wouldn't feel when we entered August, we were I don't feel very good about this receiving corps coming in. Right now, this is the best I felt about this receiving corps, and it feels really good when you have those 2 guys are going to be essentially having a wide receiver 1 as your two top guys are wide receiver runs. That's pretty damn good to have.
Yeah, very good. 2 guys who just led the ACC in college football and receiving, kind of being your established number ones already there is going to be really good. And yeah, I mean, those are the big highlights from the transfer portal that we've seen so far. I will pull up Conrad Hussey over here, because him alongside Jonathan Klein recently added to the team. And I know one thing we were talking about, Jaden, was guys who could potentially go and fill that kind of kind of slot role for Miami, especially with Keontae out. And maybe I don't mean it's it's early. I don't really know if Conrad or one of these young DBs on the team will go and fill out that role. But it's a guy who come down and hit hard, which I think Miami is gonna like in terms of the way they want their DBs to play. You're gonna see him circled up here. He's gonna, but yeah, like you see a little bit, not as much here, but there is one highlight here I want to highlight, and yeah, it's gonna be this one right here where he's starts out right here, triggers downhill, sees the screen, and pops the running back right there. Now he did leave Florida State in not the best terms, given I don't really know the full story right there, but was not the best ending for him there. And then where did he play last year? Sorry,
Oregon State was his
Oregon State, correct? Yeah.
And at Oregon State, I'm looking at his numbers right now.
Didn't he really seem to play too much there?
I don't think I think he maybe played 2 games total,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was out because of injury or personal issues. I can't tell you that. I know FSU fans were kind of joking at us when we got Conrad Hussey. But I mean, I think it's depth. I think it's a guy that, I mean, if he does play and he, cleans up, I don't know. I'm not gonna say cleans up his act. If he plays and is the guy that you maybe that he was projected to be when he first came out of high school, that's another depth piece. It could be the guy that replaces Keontae Scott. I can't really tell. It's hard to kind of describe who he could be, or at least what he could be with this Miami team. I would say right now, maybe just look at him as a depth piece with Omar Thornton, Jacoby Thomas, or Omar Thornton, Bryce Fitzgerald, Zachariah Poyser, but he could be another piece. And just adding more depth doesn't hurt. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it really doesn't hurt. And, just adding, I think that's the one thing this DB room is really going to be missing is what Keontae brought, and just in every facet of the game. And so the more guys you can add, the deeper this group is. And maybe you don't have a guy who plays the exact same role, but we're going to recreate Keontae Scott in the aggregate is the mentality for next year. And
Exactly.
yeah, I think that'll be definitely fine. So yeah, I mean, that's the big additions. I will go back a little bit ago. And for those people who are scared that the Miami defensive line won't be as good, just to remind people, the Hurricanes also brought in Damon Wilson, and here's a little bit of him, which is massive for the Hurricanes. Probably, easily their biggest addition that isn't, that isn't Mensah. You can debate him and Barkate kind of tie for that second spot right there, but really good pass rusher. Started out at Georgia, went to Mizzou. Let's see if I can fast forward to the Mizzou highlights.
He had a great year at Mizzou. I believe was it 11 sacks this season? It was
something like that. It was he was phenomenal. You really see the burst to get off and just the dip and rip right around to bring down the quarterback right
6'4",
here.
250, 9 sacks, 1 pick. He was pretty damn good at what he does best, and as a guy that I really do believe can replace what a guy like maybe Akeem Ezra brought as a physical guy that can just get sacks. And I think if that's what you're looking for, I can't say that that's an issue at all for myself. So I do enjoy he's very fun to watch. I mean, look at that. I mean,
yeah,
like it was against Bama. Like he went over 2 different defenders or 2 different offensive linemen.
He got the chip, and still kind of like fought through, goes around the right tackle right there, and then just makes his way straight to Ty Simpson. And look, that is this one's more of a coverage sack here, but like you see what he can do, and I think for just bringing in proven guys to go. We both believe in what Miami has in terms of their youth here, what we're going to potentially see from, Hayden Lowe, Herbert Scroggins, guys like that who are going to elevate their game, and then also returners like Justin Scott, Ahmad Moden, Marquise Lightfoot, Armando Blunt. Like between what Miami is developing in the trenches here, and I mean, we don't have to talk about too much, but there's some rumors that Miami coaches could get. Jeez, that was nasty. There's rumors that Miami guys could get pulled to the NFL. And unless a guy like Jason Taylor leaves in a scenario like that, I think this Miami defensive line is still going to be really, really good next year. And we had this debate: can they be better than last year? I think it's going to be tough, but it's going to be a really fun group again.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing from Wilson, he uses his hands a lot, which is one thing that Miami did so well.
Yes,
Mesidor and Bain is something Jason Taylor teaches. the way that they use their hands to create, the ability to separate and to get past a guy, whether it be a club or a hook, whatever it is, they're so good at the finesse and power moves that it allows them to be as good as they are. And you saw that all year with Bane, with Mesidor, and you're expecting that Damon Wilson can provide some of that. And when you get 9 sacks with a Mizzou team that really didn't have a fantastic year, now he's got Jason Taylor as his defensive line coach. Everything points to like he's a guy. Like that's gonna be your mainstay. He was, I believe, the number 1 edge in the portal. They seems to be a home run hit right away. And you look at some of the other guys they got in the portal in years past, like Tyler Barron, where he started so well and then he struggled towards the end, where he kind of went invisible towards the end. I don't expect that at all with Damon Wilson. He just looks like he's going to be able to create pressure and wreak havoc with the guys that he has around him throughout the entire year. It feels like another really good move for Miami that only reinforces how strong of a defense Miami's going to be with under Heatherman again.
Yeah, it does very much feel like Heatherman, and he's gonna have plenty to work with next year. I mean, especially when you think about him still having Mo Torre back for another year with that linebacker core, second linebacker. We'll see if it's Chase Smith, if it's somebody else who's younger in that group, to continue to pop up as that second linebacker to go replace West. But the front 7, I think, is going to be very strong, and I think with the secondary. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is probably a good expectation. Like Wilson's probably going to be your main guy, and then I don't know, is Lightfoot? I'd probably expect maybe him and Lightfoot just because I saw Lightfoot play more.
I think Lightfoot too. I think it will be Damon Wilson, Lightfoot, and then Lowe will be rotating. But I mean, that could always change depending on how well they look during spring and fall. I mean, they've been, the team has been so high on Hayden Lowe all year long, and him going out with injury kind of ruined it all. But the way they were treating Hayden Lowe when he came out of high school, he's a dog, and I know that Miami wants to have him be a starter. Yeah, they want him as a starter as soon as possible. But Marquise Lightfoot I think he's proven that he should be the mainstay, at least as a starter at the moment, that he's deserved the starter spot to replace Bane. But he does have to prove it during spring and fall camp. We'll see what it looks like. I do trust whatever the defense does. If you see on week 1 against Stanford that you see Hayden Lowe in, I wouldn't be surprised. I
think it's going to be a similar situation where you have guys rotating significantly. So I don't think Lowe's going to have any, he's not going to not play snaps. And I think the one thing that we did say that I did agree with you on, I think that it might not be as top heavy as the Miami defensive line was last year, but I think with the guys stepping up that it looks like on the trajectory that they're at, it's going to be a deeper group in terms of the guys they trust to constantly rotate in and make an impact on the line. So I still think regardless or not, if Lowe's the designated starter at that edge position, he's going to be playing a lot. I think Hayden Lowe, as long as he's healthy and ready, he's going to be playing a lot. Like I said, I think Lightfoot, though, just because we saw what he was able to do in that playoff run a little bit as that rotational guy for Miami, I think just one more year he steps into kind of like a full-time role, and then across from Wilson kind of wrecks havoc. But it'll be a rotation.
And last year, I mean, they tried the rotations a lot. I mean, they did a lot. You saw Blunt and Lightfoot in a lot, but when it came to the fourth quarter, it felt like it was a lot more Bane, Mesidor, and it felt like they weren't able to rely on some of the other guys. And because of that, it felt like there were times where you're looking at them, and you're like, these guys are a little gassed right now. We need some of the other guys. So you look at the team, and it's like this team has the depth, it has the talent at all aspects of it. That maybe in the fourth quarter, when one of them is tired, another guy's going to rotate in, is going to be an absolute dog. And I agree, absolutely, Deepwater, about D'Anthony Lafayette, another guy who was great out of high school. That Miami, they're just so deep at so many different levels that I love looking at the way that this. I think this defense. I'm still going to stand by this take because it's a little hot. That this defensive line will be better next year than it was last year, and I do believe just from the depth that they have will be the ultimate decider for that.
Yeah, I mean, agree to disagree. We've had this. I just think when you have two guys like that, it's hard to replace that. But I still think this is going to be a great group this year, and like you said, much deeper. Even if you don't have the top end level that you got out of Bane and Mensah, I just think the depth and being able to rotate guys is going to be so huge for this group. So, we'll see how it shapes up. But between the young guys and Wilson and the guys, stepping up potentially, it's going to be a really good defensive group. And with the secondary, pretty much in terms of corners, bringing back a lot of their guys. Even though you lose Jacoby and Keontae, what Miami did last offseason really well is that they brought in in terms of fixing their secondary, brought in young guys who'd be able to stay around after 1 year. So, I kind of, in terms of answering this question, go back to the defensive line, I'm pretty good with it. I'm pretty good with what we got at DT. Obviously, you have Moden coming back. You have Justin Scott coming back and being, hopefully improving, taking a jump up. So those two taking their step up is going to be huge. But then also you brought in Kiana Davis from Nebraska, who's a pretty good get. Carter, Jarquez Carter from Ohio State. He should be pretty good. So it should be a decent rotation of guys coming in the middle of that defensive line.
Yeah, it did feel like last year it was a mix between like a rotating of three, right? And then I guess Blunt was moving inside sometimes. It was like Moten, it was Scott, and it was Blay, and then I guess it was some rotation from Blunt. I guess it will be something similar to that, but maybe it will be Moten, Scott, and then a rotation of Blunt, and then the other two, Keona Davis and Jarquez Carter. I think it adds a lot of depth. I know you lost a couple guys from the portal, but it does, like Don Simpson, like that was a guy I thought was going to have to step up. He goes, but you replace them with Keona Davis. You replace them with more depth. I'm okay with it. I think it's going to be really solid. I mean, I think just the starters overall, great, but the depth is going to have to obviously play a big role in case of injury. Because I know what Moten and Scott are going to bring. I'm expecting a big jump from Scott, but then the transfer portal guys are probably going to be a big X factor. Because one of the things for Miami is like they've hit so well in the portal. There are times where you get a little nervous, like can they hit on almost every single guy? It's tough to believe that that's possible. So maybe one of these two might not be as good, but they are also young and they have a lot more time to develop over time. So you have here and there's a lot more. I think they're going to be very solid, and I think over the next couple of years it should be really good as well.
Yeah, so I think it's a pretty good group. We didn't really see Miami dive too deep into their defense tackle rotation. Like you just said, it was really three guys who got most of the reps at that point, between Blay, Justin Scott, and Moden, and you have two of those guys coming back. So as long as whether it's Keona Davis, Jarquez Carter, somebody younger on the team stepping in, Blunt rotating inside a little bit, you got a decent amount of depth to kind of have guys move in and out, and maybe like we were talking about with this defense, the edge group rotate even more than you did last year and kind of keep guys fresh and going towards the fourth quarter. So I like how it looks.
Yeah, I agree. I've been so high on this defense. I just firmly believe they're going to be so good. I mean, I wouldn't say I don't know how well the defense will be compared to last year because of how good Keontae Scott was.
Yeah,
total game changer. But I am excited for what this team will look like, coming next year. It's just 6 months from now. It's a long time.
It is a very long time. I think that's it in terms of at least recapping news. But what we can get into, do you have anything else?
No, you want to get into it?
I mean, sure. Well, we can talk about the Senior Bowl, the Shrine Bowl, those things. And Miami had not too many views out there, just a few pieces here and there. But the main guys I've heard sticking out were on the offensive line for the most part.
I'm pretty sure Bell and Brockermeyer were the only ones to participate.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it looked like because I was online.
Or at least in the Senior Bowl, because I think West might have participated in the Shrine Bowl.
Yeah, I think did the Shrine Bowl happen yet? That might. Yeah, it did. Okay. I don't remember seeing too much from
I have not seen anything about it. No.
Yeah. It
was Wes and Blay at the Shrine, and then Bell and Brockermeyer at the Senior Bowl.
Gotcha.
That's what I remember. I know that for Bell, obviously he made some rounds with one of his clips when Missouri's Zion Rung ran over him.
Yeah.
But you can look at the clip again over and over again. Yeah, it was a bad rep. Sure. He was also slipping because of he's playing on the sideline. He was slipping a little bit. It went viral. It should not have been that viral. It's unfortunate for Bell. But overall, I mean, the way that the reports came out that he had a really good day 2 and 3, I'm happy for Markel. I think that he will.
Yeah, I know. There was, like I said, that's one bad clip, but I watched a decent amount of like his other reps that they were showcasing.
Well,
Held up
it's that
pretty,
one clip got over 2 million views.
yeah. So I mean, we could play it if we really want, but
it's Derek. Sorry, it was Michigan's Derek Moore that ran over him. I don't want to rewatch that clip actually.
Okay, never mind then.
If you want, it just really was not a good clip for him. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it wasn't a great clip.
Outside of that play, I thought they said he had a pretty decent get back game. He actually had the very next.
Okay, since he's asking, let's. Okay, well, I have it pulled up right here.
Yeah, all right. It was the very next rep on Derek Moore. He did pretty well on him. So it was like it's one play, but this one went super viral. I think it had well over 2 million views. But it looks a little bit like slip.
It's a real. Oh wait, shoot! I didn't add the screen. Yeah. So it's a bad first clip. It is a bad first clip. Like, yeah, he gets run over.
He gets ran over.
You can kind of see him improve over the next couple if they will play. They're one after the other. But like, look, it's one bad clip, but then you kind of see him fix it up a little bit. Holds up much better on this one, where it's not the best, but like he does
pretty well there.
Yeah, holds his ground at the end right there. But yeah, that's the first one.
He got pile drive. Admittedly, he got pile drive. But like they recovered. Everything points to him saying that he had a very good, very good day 2.
Overall, pretty good day 2, and I believe James Brockermeyer had some pretty good moments.
Yes, I had seen a tweet from, what's his name, Louis Riddick. He had tweeted about him. I cannot find this clip though, but I had heard
seeing that
good things about him. Let me find what Louis Riddick had said. He did sing his praises for him. Bad podcasting. I cannot find this tweet of Brockermeyer. I mean, he had something to say about Mensah too, which nothing but positive. He's been nothing but positive about Miami for a while now.
Yeah, he's been very positive with Miami, and I will pull up Brockermeyer going at it. Sorry that we haven't answered the question here, but yeah, I mean, was Bell denied? But yeah, you can see Brockermeyer kind of be very, show very, very, very good kind of
here it is.
Ground here.
Someone asked Louis Riddick, he said, talk to me about the interior offensive line talent. He said, James Brockermeyer, Miami, a favorite of mine. He's underappreciated. He will play a long time in the league. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So,
yes, this was true. This was true. He had applied for a waiver. I don't remember the reason why he was denied. And that doesn't make any sense to me because he did JUCO for 2 years. And then he did 2 years at Miami. Would that not be like, think about Pavia. When Pavia did 2 years at JUCO and then 2 years at New Mexico and then did another
answer here.
Full year and then he did a full year at Vandy. Right? He did 2 years at Vandy. Did he play for 6 years?
Yeah. Pavia, yeah. How many years
I think Pavia did like 2 years.
He played 2 seasons at JUCO, transferred to New Mexico State, and then
did 2 years there, and then did 2 years at Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
that's 6. Like, I don't understand that, and that to me, unless there's something I'm missing, because from what I understand, Bell played 2 years JUCO, 2 years Miami.
Let's see. Markel. Well, yeah, I mean, I know he played 2 years Miami, so let's see. I'm looking at his bio here. Before Miami, he spent first 2 seasons, and spent first 2 seasons at JUCO, came to Miami last year, and they are not giving him one more. It looks
That's
like.
unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I really would have liked that.
Let me see. I'm gonna look at the Diego Pavia case really
And
fast.
that,
See if there
well,
was
I
any.
know he had sued them and he had won it, and it was like, well, that's a landmark case for all JUCO athletes that they can
Yeah.
do essentially 4 years after JUCO. I thought that's what the case precedent had said. I guess not. I guess I
Let's
was.
see. So I'm reading the article right now. Counts the time. Judge Campbell. Open.
Yeah. So he did 2 years though at like a D3 level. I wonder if that changes anything though, because he did, it was 2 years at New Mexico Military Institute, 2 years in New Mexico, 2 years at Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Bell did 2 years at, what was the JUCO that he was at?
CC Holmes, I believe is the name.
So maybe the difference between CC Holmes and New Mexico Military. Like I can't. I don't under that makes no sense to me at all. I can't tell you. I can't tell you the reason why he got denied of that waiver, but it kind of messes up his. I mean, his draft stock right now is late rounds undrafted, which is unfortunate because I think if he did one more year, he could get, into that top 5 round kind of region. The way that Moten was able to, where Moten was towards round 6, even later, and now he can, because he can do one more year, he can improve his draft stock. Or like Inez, if Inez had a chance to do another year, I know he couldn't. He would be able to like improve his draft stock. It does suck for some of those guys. I'm glad that they're getting paid right now because then they can have their money now and then maybe not in the league. Because again, the percentage of guys that make it to the league after college is so small. I'm glad they got their monies right now.
Yeah, it does suck just because, especially the way Markel like came on that late in the season, especially like
He
just
was
moving guys around.
Yeah, he was pancaking guys like nothing. Some of the blindside blocks were like, he was so good. Him in the playoffs specifically, I thought he was so impressive. Yeah, I mean the whole offensive line. I like, even Brockenbauer got slandered quite a bit at the beginning of the year with with the A gap Shannon Dawson stuff. But as the season went on,
that and the pre-snap penalties. But
yes. As the season went on,
postseason,
Brockenbauer was pretty solid. I imagine he will be a starter at some point. I mean, you even look at some of the guys that Miami's brought, have been in the league for a little bit now, between Jalen Rivers and Matt Lee. Jalen Rivers is a starter. I understand it's the Bengals, but he is a starter right now at guard. And Matt Lee, I think he's a backup still, but still, like, Miami's bringing in more guys here and there on the offensive line. Cece's going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Inez should get drafted. Brockenbauer should get drafted. It was the best offensive line in football for 2 years straight. It's very impressive what they were doing for the last 2 years, and you're really hoping that can kind of take form next year. And Jackson Cantwell is kind of the guy that leads that charge.
Yeah, exactly. And you have 2 guys who come back who did play a decent amount with Sampson and Matthew McCoy.
Yes,
kind of filling out pieces of that. So like you hope, they had their decent amount of experience this year, and they kind of are able to kind of elevate their game a little bit higher next year. And then Cantwell, you expect as the number 1 prospect in high school football to be able to at least hold his own. Like, at least, I mean, because in all fairness, Cece was holding his own from day one. The second he got here playing a role. So like it's not like it's unheard of.
Yeah, CC did set a standard for Cantwell that he's got to play to that kind of level right away.
Yeah, he's got
which does suck for him. But look, when you're the Gatorade National Player of the Year as an offensive lineman, you got big shoes to fill right now, man.
Yeah, so that it's going to be tough to necessarily fill, but it's not like we haven't seen guys under Mirabal play at a high level. So yeah, I will say for people watching the spring game, if we do see them struggle, let's also take into account the fact that they are playing against this ridiculous Miami defensive line, and
also their first time playing with each other for the most part.
And it's also it will also be their first time playing with each other. So
we'll get more and more coverage of the team in March when we hit spring practices. This is, again, the deadest part of the time. I know Chris and them are on the recruiting trail right now, but we don't know pretty much anything about who is where, anywhere. I know they're maybe looking at a guy or two in the portal, but like it's not something that is game breaking right now. College football slowing down as it should. It's been pretty hectic, chaotic last 6 months. February is a little bit of a break. Pro days are coming up. Draft stuff is coming up. That stuff matters a little bit more. It's Super Bowl week at the end of the day. And Shay's Patriots, I'm sure he's feeling pretty good right now.
I'm feeling really good. I know everybody thinks we're going to lose by like 40, but
Yeah, I mean, what's FanDuel's odds right now in the Super Bowl?
let's take a look.
I think it is like somewhere like Seahawks -5, I think, or something like. I'd be feeling a little bit nervous if I were you, Shay. I mean, this isn't your first. It's currently, according to FanDuel, Patriots are 4.5-point dogs, over under 45.5. You should feel pretty good. You should feel very good right now.
I'm feeling good. Sam Darnold doesn't know who Milton Williams and Christian Barmore are. I'm sorry.
He's
I mean,
getting
you
his
saw
revenge.
Barmore abuse All-Pro Quinn Miners last week. Okay, Anthony Bradford sitting them at the right guard spot. Does not know what's about to hit him.
I am a believer in Sam Darnold. I've been a believer in him since he was drafted by the Jets. My entire life, the Jets ruined Sam Darnold. They wasted him. He is revived, and it would be so fitting that the team that essentially was the reason why he left the Jets would be the reason why he'd be baller. He would be baller. I would be an unbelievable feeling.
In terms of answering this question, I don't think it is possible, but maybe we can get a draw.
I mean, you got to root for the Seahawks in that spot. You can't root for the Patriots. No one should be able to root for the Patriots. This is like Shay's like 8th time there. Like he's been there before.
I know, but also like Drake May, people. Drake May.
Since hold on. Since 2011, how many playoff appearances? How many Super Bowl appearances do the Patriots have?
They have since 2011. You have the first. So you have the first Seahawks won, the first Seahawks Atlanta, Eagles loss, Rams win, and now this one.
So 2011, 2014, 2016, 2018, 2018, 2025. That is 6. That is in, I guess, yeah, from the 2011 season to the 2025 season. For comparison, my New York Football Jets have not made the playoffs yet in that span.
It's a shame. It really is a shame.
And it is so frustrating to see them go through a 3-year downfall of how bad they look just for them to be back in the Super Bowl 2 years later. I am begging
think about it. If you're a Canes fan,
I'm sorry. We're both from the Northeast. He's from Jersey and he's a Pats fan. I'm from New York.
It's not as simple as me just being a bandwagon. I saw the red, white, and blue colors, and I was like, I'm a patriotic young American. I would be a Pats fan, and it worked out. I even know who Tom Brady was, and then 2 weeks ago, I'm shaking his hands on the sideline. Look, full circle.
Oh my gosh! First grade was the last time I seen my team in the playoffs. First grade. Please give me one playoff appearance. All I ask.
Was that the time you guys beat the Pats?
Yeah, we beat the Pats.
Look at that.
It was our last playoff win was the Patriots.
Yeah.
We're the last team to beat the Patriots. It's unbelievably frustrating. It was we beat the Patriots and then we lost to the Steelers in the AFC Championship game.
All right, given this was when I was like 5, when I was like, I think 7, I became a Pats fan. I didn't follow football. I didn't follow football yet. Like I literally the only two. I watched the Niners. I watched the Niners Ravens Super Bowl once, and I watched the Broncos. I watched the Broncos. The Broncos Seahawks one was like the first one.
Yeah,
Broncos Seahawks where they fucking ran them over. That was like Jesus Christ. And then and the first Pats one I like fully watched. I mean, obviously because I mean I was 6 during 2011 when they lost the Giants, and then
that was great. That was a great Super Bowl. That was probably my favorite Super Bowl I've ever watched. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
I grew up rooting for both at one point, the Jets and the Giants. So I had a Victor Cruz Super Bowl jersey. It was probably one of the best days ever. And then I, for some reason, chose to be a Jets fan permanently. But at least getting to see Tom Brady lose in that fashion was great. And then I got to shake his hand 2 weeks ago. So
hey, it all works out.
It all works out.
It all works out. Yeah. So, but look, I did not just jump ship the second the Pats were bad. I'm not even gonna act like I'm anything but privileged. Very privileged here to be a Pats fan. Very privileged that I randomly decided that was going to be my team. And I'm very, very happy about that decision right now. But what's really important is that we have 2 Miami Hurricanes. are the New England Patriots right now. Two of them. One of
Don't
them.
try to guilt. Don't try to guilt them with Andy and Leonard Taylor. Don't do. I'd rather.
Do we
I'd
not
rather
have
do it
Andy
with Elijah.
Borregales? No, nobody's a fan of Andy Borregales. I'm sorry.
Who? You're lucky that Andy was so good with Miami. You're lucky. You're
Leonard
lucky
Taylor. Leonard Taylor, who, I mean, he was once a projected first round pick while he was here.
If Elijah was a key contributor to the Seahawks and got his shot and to play for the playoffs with Miami in 24, it'd be different. And yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Andy's
no.
real.
Oh, yeah. You put it on. I'll give you that. Leonard Taylor. He might have flamed out here a little bit.
Okay,
But
Leonard Taylor also probably won't play a lot.
no, he won't. Look, if he blocks it with a field goal, I'll be as happy as I can be. But yeah, he's. I mean, look, man. Like I said, you never know. Anthony Bradford. I'm circling that matchup. Milton Williams, Christian Barmore. Go have yourself a field day.
I'm begging Jason to lock up to dial on Christian Gonzalez. I need him dialed on Christian Gonzalez all game.
Fourth quarter Gonzalez is just a different. It's just a different beast. Zero passer rating allowed in the fourth quarter.
That does not. Fourth quarter Gonzo is not a real stat. Not a real person. Act like he's 9.
Zero, bro. Zero. Fourth quarter 0.
I'm so sick of this. I hate Pat. I hate when the Pats are in the Super Bowl. It's the worst feeling in the world. I think my Super Bowl for the last few years has just been any year.
Oh wait, I should actually probably show this.
Has been a success.
This is gonna be. It's like, let me find this. It didn't update. God damn it. Oh, I have a photo with a Drake May cutout in my camera roll.
So I'm sick of it all because I like Drake May a lot, and the Jets got the Patriots Drake May. They gave him Drake May. It was worth it for the Jets. It was worth it because it was Belichick's last game, which maybe that was the reason why Belichick didn't get in the Hall of Fame because he lost to the Jets to end his career. Can't do that. You can't lose to the Jets to end your career.
Oh no, that was. I mean, look, the funniest thing about that game was Robert Saleh not remembering how many rushing yards Breece Hall needed for 1,000 yards, and then he ends up 2 yards short. Funny as hell.
Did he really?
Yeah, no, that they said that after the game. He did the math wrong. They were trying to get Breece because that's why Breece had that other big they kept him in the game that late. Even though it was over. That's
peak Jets football. I mean, there's a certain owner right now that is being involved, and we don't get into politics on this show, but there is some owner of the New York Football Jets that might be involved or might have been close friends with little Epstein. Might have been allegedly was in his box for years. Allegedly good friends with him for years. Allegedly should sell the team. Woody. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, let me make sure I'm going the right way. Okay. So many. By the way, I love Drake May shirts.
You brought that to Studio C?
Yeah, we did.
Bob Kraft was involved allegedly. I think he had I don't think he was really that involved in there. Steve Tisch though, bad. He's done. Steve Tisch is done. But Woody Johnson should be forced to sell just for his name even be mentioning in there. Just get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Russ was too funny, man. I don't know if people saw that. Like Russ being like, what was the exact word?
He said, I saw it this morning.
He was like, hell no, Satan, or whatever.
He said, I have it right here. Nope, absolutely not. Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan, yes.
I love it. I love it.
Find
yeah, a lot of stuff happened on Friday.
Yeah, I know.
We're not a politics show over here.
No, we are not.
If Woody Johnson gets the ball, that happens.
Oh, look, it was not my cardboard cutout. I don't have it in my own room, but look,
I can't believe you brought it to UMTV studios. It's ridiculous.
Look, coming soon on at UMTV Sports Desk on Instagram. I'm on a little segment with the Drake May cutout, talking about Drake May with my. Oh, can I pull this
Where
back
do you
up
even
again?
get it from?
I don't know. Somebody bought it. Somebody bought it for one of the people, and yeah. So sorry. I got to share screen again because I have my I Love Drake May shirt.
When the Jets get their quarterback, I'm doing this. This is
Yeah,
the same.
shout out my I Love Drake May shirt. I have too many photos of it here, but yeah, sick. I love it. It's official. So it's official merchandise.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it all.
Oh, I
think they do. I think they still got fat heads.
Oh, 100%. I might actually do that. I might actually do that. I'm gonna have to hang. Like my room's gonna be surrounded with all like my stuff from the CFP, and then just a Drake May head on the wall.
Junior in college with a Drake May fat head. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Do you have a problem with that?
I would do the same thing if the Jets had a quarterback. You think I'm putting a Justin Fields thing up there? No. There is the Drake May collection does still exist. They got them in they have them in 6 different jerseys.
Look at that.
$30. Unbelievable. Yeah, you got to get that. So dumb.
I might actually have to.
Man.
We're gone. Game's gone.
Game's gone. This is what happens when we've hit the first week of no news. The first week of no news, nothing going on.
I'm going through my camera roll.
Yeah. Next week we're gonna try to relive some of the moments from last year because we were at every single one. We were at every single game last year. We had a blast watching them all. It's a very incredible run. We're probably gonna do a little top 5 ranking. Favorite moments from the year. We're going to do a lot more of these things just from the off season. If there's some rumors that my good friend Sebastian Font from Canes Insight will send me that we can talk about for about an hour, we will get to that at some point in time. but we will see. I appreciate any of you guys for tuning into this incredible show.
Masterpiece that we put on today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Shout out Deepwater for running the chat today. I gotta appreciate you kept it alive.
Thank you, Deepwater, as always.
Thank you.
I will have my call-in show on Thursday. I'm begging people to please call. I want to hear some stuff. Thank you, Deepwater.
Appreciate you.
I'd appreciate it. We will see you guys next time.
See you later. Peace.